Bernard Cazeneuve, France's Interior Minister, who's speaking
families
live.
And friends. As part of the 3 days of mourning decided on by the President of the Republic, and at the request of the Prime Minister, I have asked the prefects to organize on the 16th of November at 4 p.m. a moment where we will, of silence, to pay homage. We are unanimous in supporting the law enforcement organizations who are fighting against barbarity. As we saw yesterday evening, the police, the special forces, have shown great courage when they had deliberated the hostages in the Bataclan concert hall. The firefighters and all the emergency services at work last night in the middle of this barbarity once again showed great courage and great generosity. I would like to express my deep gratitude to them for their heroism, and in a few minutes I will be visiting the headquarters of the Paris firefighters to thank them. And I would like to thank all of the security forces of our country. They are at the highest level of alert. All police officers, the gendarmes, the firefighters, and the military are engaged in neutralizing the terrorists and in protecting the French citizens. I would like to pay tribute to them for their work last night, their intervention last night, and in protecting our fellow citizens who have been so deeply hurt, both morally and physically. It's thanks to them that France is and will remain standing. I would like to pay tribute also to the support and the national unity that has been expressed by political leaders in the country. A criminal investigation has been launched under the authority of the public prosecutor of Paris. It will shed light on the circumstances of this barbaric act. François Molins will be speaking about this investigation in due course. The aim is the greatest transparency and the requirement to reveal the truth and to communicate very rigorously. Following the exceptional decisions made by the President and the Prime Minister yesterday and today during the Defense Committee meeting in the Élysée Palace, I would like to describe the operational system that is being set up to ensure the security and to mobilize the law enforcement organizations. As regards the state of emergency, I would like to make it clear that it has been set up by an order decided on by the cabinet last night, and it will apply immediately across the whole of metropolitan France. In some cases, it involves the right to limit the mobility of traffic at certain places and at certain times. I also issued a circular to all the prefects this morning telling them that they may set up a curfew, introduce a curfew in the areas over which they have jurisdiction if there is a threat to public order. They will also be able to set up special protection zones around public and private buildings that might be the targets of violent threats. The state of emergency also implies the possibility of forbidding any individual who may threaten the actions of the public authorities. The prefects will also be able to organize searches of people and of places if the public order requires this. Under this decree, they may also provisionally close entertainment centers, cafes and bars, and forbid any public demonstration that may expose the participants to risk. Thus, in Paris and the nearby counties, the prefect of police has decided to forbid all demonstrations in public spaces until next Thursday. A similar decision has been taken in the prefects in the outer suburbs of Paris. a crisis unit, an interdepartmental crisis unit, has been meeting continually in the Ministry of the Interior. An operational control center is meeting in order to manage the system which is under the authority of the Ministry of the Interior. So that is necessary for emergency situations. The deployment of security forces across the whole of France, I would like to remind you that yesterday evening, all the police forces, the special forces, the criminal investigation departments, the Homeland Security Department, and the intelligence services, and the public security authorities for the Greater Paris area have been mobilized. 5.5 extra riot police companies have been mobilized. The level of mobilization of all police and gendarme forces has been increased. The border controls have been reintroduced since yesterday, and the 61 main entry points, authorized entry points, will be under particularly close surveillance, and the border police and the customs officers will be mobilized. The other entry points will be controlled by the Central Public Security Department, the riot police deployed, and the National Gendarmerie. We have also contacted our European partners. I have spoken to my counterparts in neighboring countries who will be intensifying border controls on aircraft and on trains. And they will also be providing us with better border controls of road access. We will also increase control over the mass rapid transit stations and other transnational railway lines in collaboration with our European partners. The ports will be subject to special security measures, and international railway stations in Paris will also be under the control of the Prefecture of the Police. The main roadways, the motorways, will be under the control of the DCSP, the riot police, and airports by the Central Department of the Air Police and Border Police. As regards the personnel, the gendarmerie personnel, 230 men have been made available to the Prefecture of Police. 2 sections of the SWAT units have been mobilized, and this will also enable the gendarmerie to carry out effective controls all over the country on the edges of major agglomerations and on major highways. These units will also be in charge of watching any sensitive sites. The army have mobilized 1,000 extra troops, mainly in the Paris area. They will patrol in Paris over the next few days, as indicated by the President of the Republic. All these reinforcements will be supporting the law enforcement organizations which have already been mobilized for several months to control over 5,000 locations as part of the Vigipirate system. Our intelligence services under the new anti-terrorist law of the 13th of November 2014 and the law of last July are totally mobilized in order to fight the terrorists. In terms of civil defense, 450 Paris firefighters have been mobilized overnight, and reinforcements from other counties are available if necessary. All the specialist units of civil defense from 28 mine disposal units are prepared, are ready to intervene if necessary. It is notably the case of the 15,000 staff who have been trained in chemical risks, and others, 5,000 more, who have been trained to deal with radiological risks. So all our forces have been mobilized to fight the decisive battle against the enemies of France, and they will have the support of the whole of the nation. Thank you for your attention.